following video may be triggering for some viewers. It is intended for mature audiences and deals with topics of anxiety and depression. Hello, my friends. How you doing today? I am not doing so well. I'm calling this one my anxiety special. If you have not watched this channel before, I suffer from major anxiety, and situation is I'm on medication. Okay, I'm like one of these that don't want to leave the house type guys. You know, I kind of keep to myself. If I gotta go out, it's like a struggle. The struggle to go to places and do things, and like the person that you see on the outside is not really the person that's going on the inside. You know, like this constant battle, overthinking things all the time, drives me a little bit crazy. It just never stops. It's a situation that I wish would go away. And if you have any if you too suffer from anxiety and you have any hints of what I'm supposed to do, please comment below and help somebody out, because I'll tell you, I find myself sometimes, I don't know about you, if you have this issue. I'm talking severe anxiety. I'm talking to the point where you're overthinking every single thing you do. You have no idea what it takes for me to record myself and edit myself and put out these videos. Okay, these are an absolute labor of love, and I feel like I might be trying to help somebody somewhere out there. That's what I feel. I know some of you guys are like, oh yeah, I come here to watch the video opening, the media openings or whatever, and get some knowledge on stuff like that. Yeah, but this is very much a channel about myself, and I'm really happy, and I get excited when I get comments and messages from people that watch the show, and they're like, oh, well, I learned something, or yeah, I struggle with the same thing, and I feel like I'm struggling with you, and I appreciate you speaking out on people that suffer from anxiety. Because I'll tell you, it happened to me about 15, 14, 13 years ago. My doctor put me on some kind of medication called Wellbutrin, and it was for depression, but I wasn't depressed. I hated my job, and I wasn't happy with the situation, but they put me on medication to stop me from having depression. But it wasn't depression that I was going through, it was anxiety I was going through. So it had like a reverse effect. It was causing me to have, I was struggling, having sleepless nights, messing me all up. So the doctor says, hey, you know what, stop taking it, just stop. Cold turkey, just stop. And after doing further research throughout the years, come to find out that pretty much could have killed me. What happened was I ended up on the ground, shaken from stopping the discontinuation of the medication, and I ended up with drug withdrawals from the medication. And I just shook on the floor for a while. Now, I ended up leaving that doctor, going to see another doctor. This other doctor put me on the right medication, but he told me that I was probably having seizures due to the drug withdrawals. The problem is the question mark. With anybody that has anxiety, the issue is always the question mark. We anxiety people cannot stand not knowing things. If we have a job where we walk it into every single day and we don't know what we're doing, it literally drives us crazy. And we're always overthinking things. We're always thinking of not just ourselves, but the people around us. So me personally, speaking personally about myself, I take on the burden of everybody around me, like if my family, friends, whatever, whoever's having an issue in my life that I know or care about, or whatever. I take that burden on, and I hold it in my head. Now this is a tough message or video for me to make right now, because I'll tell you right now, due to the fact that the medication that they put me on is extremely addictive. It's addictive medication, and I've been consulted and assaulted, or listen, I've been told by many people that I should not be taking this medication. Now, the problem is it's the only medication I ever found that worked. So the deal is with me is I don't want to abuse the medication. So I don't. I take exactly what is prescribed to me by my doctor when it's needed to be taken. And then I have certain other pills that I take in case I have a major anxiety attack and I don't know what to do with myself. So the problem is that the situation I just ran into is I did not want to fill my prescription too early. I didn't want them to think that I was done with it. So I had like 10 pills left. I'm like, I'll wait till I'm down to like 3, and then I'll tell the wife to call up the pharmacy, because they have to special call in. The doctor has to call these things in, because I can't just get a free refill. I just can't, not like a refill. I can't get a refill. It has to be doctor authorized. That's how powerful these pills are. So I didn't want them to think that, okay, I got 10 pills left. If I notify the pharmacist now, I've taken more than what I'm supposed to take, which I didn't. But then when I was down to my last 3 pills, it takes a long time for them to fill them. So now here I am, day 2, no medication. I literally got up this morning, and thank goodness that I'm not working right now, because I got up this morning and I laid in my bed and just shook until about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I woke up literally around 7 o'clock this morning, and I just been laying here till about 12 o'clock, shaking like a leaf, okay? And then I decided, I've been watching a lot of videos about different things. There was some kind of pressure point thing in your ear, whatever. They say you put your finger in the little crevice in the ear over here, and you do like a circular motion. I've been trying that. You do it both ears, circular motion. I tried pulling. You're supposed to pull on the ears, take the tension off. There's all these different things that these YouTubers are telling you to do if you're having anxiety attacks. Exercise. So I figure, all right, it's 12 o'clock or whatever, and I'm dizzy. Now I'm dizzy. I can barely walk a straight line at this point. Setting up the equipment for recording today was a mission. But I'm dizzy, and I'm like, I'm going to go out and get some exercise. I'm going to walk around, and they say that when you have anxiety, I guess burning up the energy or whatever helps you with your anxiety attacks. Well, I walked. I walked quite a bit this morning, and it was kind of like an out-of-body experience. It was very, very strange. It was like I'm walking around the block, and I'm trying to stay on the left-hand side of the road because I know I'm wobbling. I know I'm all over the place, but I don't want to get hit by a car. And I got my headphones on. I'm listening to Jason Gray. If you don't know who Jason Gray is, look him up on YouTube. He's a Christian singer or whatever. And usually when I feel really down and I'm really confused and everything, I listen to him, and it kind of straightens out my head a little bit. I don't ask me why. I mean, there's other people in my other singers that do the same thing, but I kind of turn to this guy to singing, and it kind of puts my head a little bit more focused. So I'm walking down the street, and I got around the block next to the back of my house where I could see my house and everything, and I'm just inspecting the house and everything because we just had work done on the house, and I realized that I don't remember leaving the house. I don't remember getting to the point where I was and how I got there. I'm trying to retrack my steps and rethink how the corners I took and how I got there and everything, and I just could not. Okay, this is how bad this is. Now, you people that suffer from anxiety, this is no joke. Okay, this is no joke. And the problem is that unless you suffer from anxiety, you don't understand. People don't understand us. They don't understand the trouble. I don't know how deep your anxiety might be, but you don't understand how deep this is. I mean, I don't know if I've ever explained my name. My channel is named Melted Movies 1. Why is it called Melted Movies 1? A lot of people do like a question and answer thing. Now, I haven't reached my 1,000 subscribers yet, so I can't do a question and answer. I can't go live. I can't do anything until I hit my 1,000 subscribers. So I will answer this question if you ever wondered why I named my channel Melted Movies 1. Well, the deal is that sometimes when I go through my anxiety attacks, I get extremely dizzy and disoriented. I almost have vertigo. I have vertigo. And my whole room is surrounded by movies. And one day, when I decided I was going to make my channel, whatever, I'm thinking for a name of the channel. And I was having a major anxiety attack. So I was like, what sums up me and movies and what the situation is? And I literally got up out of my bed, sat up, and looked around my room, which is all covered with movies. And the movies looked like they were melting. They literally looked like they were dripping off the wall because I could not focus on anything. It was a terrible, terrible thing. But I was like, what better than to name my channel after something that I have to live with every single day of my life? So the 1 is just because somebody already had melting movies, and I threw the 1 in there. That's where the 1 came from. I'm like, okay, how am I going to remember this? Let's throw 1 at the end. So yeah, that's what it came from. The movies were literally melting off the walls. I could not focus on a movie. And that's another thing that makes it really difficult. I'll tell you, if you have anxiety and you have a large collection, let's say you want to sit down and watch a movie and you have a large collection, you can't make a decision. Decision making is out the window. Like, I will literally, sometimes I'll just sit at the foot of my bed and I'll look around like, I want to watch a movie. I want to watch a movie really bad. And I'll tell you, it's like it's a chore. It's like I can't make a decision. It's like there's too much to choose from, too overwhelmed. And I start second guessing myself. I'm like, should I watch this? If I watch this, how's this going to turn out? Am I going to, if I watch a horror movie, am I going to end up having anxiety because of the jump scares or the horror or whatever situation? If I watch a childhood movie, is it gonna give me a trigger of abuse from my childhood? If I watch a comedy, is that gonna give me like another abuse trigger from my childhood? What is gonna trigger me to cause me to have an anxiety attack? Literally, I had a package that came in the other day. We had all three Lost Boys movies, and I'm like, I have not seen Lost Boys 2 in a long time, The Tribe or whatever it is. I'm like, I'm going to throw Lost Boys 2 in. I know it's not a good movie. I know a lot of people be like, that movie sucked anyway. But I wanted to watch it because I had not. I've watched The Tribe and I watched the other one. I don't know what the last one is. Something Blood or Coven, or I don't know what it was. But anyway, they all got Corey Feldman in it. I like Corey Feldman. So I put in part 2 and I put the beginning of it and I was really getting into it. And then all of a sudden, I'm starting to get sick. Like physically sick. Like I had to throw up. I had to go to the bathroom. I didn't know if it was going to come out of one end or out the other. You anxiety people, you know that this is very much a thing. And then the other fear you have is really weird is that, let's say you do take your medication and you just took your medication and you start to get this overwhelming feeling like you're going to throw up or you have to go to the bathroom. And then you're scared because, I don't know about you, but I'm scared because I don't want to throw up my medication. Because therefore, then it's no longer in my body. It's no longer doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's going to take a little while to get into my bloodstream. I understand all of this. So if I take my pill and then 10 minutes later I throw it up, what good is that going to do me? So now I get that added fear in my life. So the reason why I'm making this video is because I was talking back and forth with another a subscriber, and I was told him about something that I was going to be getting in the mail. And I know it's in one of these packages. I got 3 packages here, and they're actually pretty hefty, decent sized packages here. And I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about anxiety and situations as I'm opening up the packages. So listen, if you don't want to hear about, different coping skills that I go through or things that mess up my life, that put me in this position where I am right now, where I have to battle with anxiety every single day. And I have to put on this almost like mask of the alternate me, because this is what you see here, this outgoing whatever, is work. Okay, when I used to go do my job, it was work on top of work, because you almost got to put on a show over what you're really feeling inside. And meanwhile, what you're feeling inside is terrible. You're feeling terrible. I'm carrying luggage from back when I was a child to present day, to the past, to the future. I'm carrying luggage. And it just won't go away. I really wish it would. I mean, I've been trying to figure it out. I'm like, I texted my wife today, and I don't want to scare her, but I'm like, are they hypnotists? Is there actually a hypnotist that can make me stop having anxiety, like a Shallow Hal type thing that can snap their fingers? And because I'm at a point right now where I'll pay to get this thing to go away, because it's terrible. I mean, I got a granddaughter, I got kids, and it keeps me from going to do social things with my family, because I literally sometimes don't want to leave the house because I'm anticipating the worst. When you have anxiety, you're always anticipating the worst. No matter, you could be having the best day ever. Best day ever. Not too long ago, I went to the movies with my kids, having the best day. I was enjoying it. We went out to eat, went to a movie, having a great day. Got to the movie theater, and somebody in the movie did something that triggered something that might remind me of something, and full-blown anxiety. I ended up in the bathroom for over half an hour, splash of water on my face, sitting on the toilet, getting back up again, going over to the sink, splash of water on my face. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing to live with. And the sad thing is people don't understand. I've had people in my life tell me, just snap out of it. Grow up. Be a man. Grow up and get out. This has nothing to do with being a man. This has nothing to do with growing up. This has to do with a sickness. It has to do with a mental illness due to triggers and terrible events that happen in my life. And that's just the bottom line. It's just these things pop up that sometimes I just black out. That happened when I was younger, or happened not too long ago, whatever, and I'll black them out, and then all of a sudden they just flow in my head. It's like somebody opens up a dam, and the floods of memories just comes flying through my head, and it's overwhelming. It's completely overwhelming. And then what it does is it causes me to my heart to pump, blood to pump, and heart to listen. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. Sometimes I feel like I'm having a heart attack, and I'm like, I can't it's the word I'm looking for. Differentiate. I can't tell a difference. I can't tell. You know what I'm talking about. I can't tell a difference between whether it's a heart attack or anxiety attack. So which scares you even more because you don't know what you're going through. I'm a big guy. I could be having a heart attack. I could be having a stroke. I could be having an anxiety attack. You don't know what you're having. And it's terrible to have to feel like that all the time. So as I go through these packages, I got one thing in here in particular. I know it's here, and this is why I'm making the video, because I told the YouTuber that I was going back and forth with, not YouTuber, but subscriber that I was going back and forth with. When I got the package in the mail, we were going to be talking about anxiety. This was going to be an anxiety episode. I'm going to call this my testimony. I'm going to call it my testimony episode. And if you don't like it, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I feel good talking to you. That's another thing, is that when you have anxiety, you want to talk to somebody, but sometimes there's not people to talk to. I find myself sometimes, no word of a lie, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, because that's another thing about anxiety. You can't sleep at night. You can't sleep at night because you toss and turn. You have nightmares. You have crazy nightmares that make no sense whatsoever. And then you can't sleep, and you're tossing and turning. My right arm goes numb sometimes. I get these pains. I sleep with an ice pack under the back of my neck. Just I don't know. Sometimes if I put it on my forehead, I feel like somebody's holding me down. It's such a thing, and it's so irritating. But wow, losing track, and that's another thing. Your memory goes, like what you're talking about. Like I could be talking to you, but like 10 minutes from now, I can't remember what I said or what I did. It's terrible. But I did tell him that when I got this thing in the mail, I would talk about my situation, what I went through, and why I purchased the thing. So I got package number one. Let's start with package number one, which came from Brian Gavin from Temple, Texas. Temple, Texas. Okay, and it is a copy of. I'm sure this is gonna help with the anxiety. Yeah. When a Stranger Calls, and that cool DVD VHS cover DVD. VHS cover, yes. When a Stranger Calls with Carol Kane, and who else is in this? Charles During and Colleen Dewhurst. I bought this and I realized there's When a Stranger Calls 2, and I only paid like $8 for this one. But When a Stranger Calls, for some reason, part 2 is going. I think it's When a Stranger Calls Again is going for like $20-something, and I ain't all about that right now. So yeah, this is one of those. They're in the house, and if I remember correctly, and I'm not giving too much away, she keeps getting phone calls throughout the whole movie. It's like one of these, like, I know what you're doing, I know what you're doing, I know what you're doing, and come to find out, they trace the phone call back, and the guy is in the house. Yes, there's the big secret or whatever. This movie's back for came out in I want to say the 70s. Is it gonna give me a date here? Nope. It's a Mill Creek, and it's not giving me a date, but I want to say it was either early 80s or late 70s. 1979, like right on the cusp of 80. That's pretty good on that one. And I've seen this numerous times. Will this mess me up? It probably will. And this is the package, actually. This is the one. This is a heavy one. So I know that this is what it is. So let me crack it open. It's got a whole pile of stamps. Cost this person, like, it's actually kind of cool, the stamps or whatever. Let me show you what the front of this thing looks like. Look at that. Look at all the stamps. And this came from RGL, Buffalo Ave, Valley Glen, California. Now, quick little story on this package is so let me open it first, and I'll explain after I open it, if I can open without ruining it, because all right, we got a package in a package, which that's always good. Bubble wrap package here. It's extremely heavy. Let me get that out of the way. This is a box set of some sorts, and I'm kind of happy to get it at this juncture in my life, this point in time of what I'm going through right now. All right. Yeah, they nicely wrapped it in an Amazon Prime package thing there, trying to give me PTSD from my bad Amazon experiences. Let me see here. All right. Okay. We're getting there. So, what we have here is a little bit of a space taker-upper. I don't know if I should take I should probably just slid it out of the thing. Anyway, let me see if I can do it this way. This is the Midwest Center since 1983, Attacking Anxiety and Depression CD, DVD, book set. I hope you can see that all right. I'll put a picture of it over here if you can't see the thing. I'm not planning on, because what I'm planning on doing is just cutting the side over here later on, so I can slide the books and everything out, so that way I can keep the cover protected. Okay, this is what this video was all about. This is what I was waiting for. So about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I had that's when I got off that medication. I ended up having a real bad anxiety attack, which caused me to be out of work for about 2 or 3 weeks. Work was all over me. They would give me a hard time. They were harassing me. They were, if you don't come, you're going to lose your job. Make sure you have your paperwork in line. I mean, they couldn't do anything because it was a medical issue, but they were really, really pushing. They were like they would not, they didn't want to hear about what I was going through. They didn't care what I was going through. They wanted my body, just a body, to be there to run their machines. So I was on the floor, shaking like a leaf. I had my kids putting blankets on me and everything. I wasn't eating. I lost all kinds of weight. It was not a bad thing, good thing. I don't know. I mean, I like the weight loss part of it, but I was losing weight because I was dehydrated, had diarrhea, I was throwing up, I was, shaking nonstop. So yeah, I lost a lot of weight, and it was actually, to me, in the aftermath, it was a good thing, but it wasn't fun going through the process. So, I was up for like 3 days straight, 4 days straight, not being able to sleep. And I went in the living room one morning. Wife was sleeping, kids were all sleeping, everything. And it was like really, really early. And there was a infomercial for this. Now, this didn't come out in 1983. I'm thinking that the Midwest, whatever thing, started in 1983. This box set, I think, was probably in it would have been late 90s. Maybe, actually, no, it would have been maybe even later than that. Maybe 2003, 4, 5, 6, something like that. And there was an infomercial for this thing. It was like a money back guarantee. You have nothing to lose but your depression and your anxiety. And I sat there and I watched the infomercial. And the infomercial actually made me feel a little bit better. I felt like there was other people out there like me. I felt like there was other people going on. They had the same situation. They're going through the same things as me. And other people could relate, okay? Because I was always told in my life that there was something wrong with me. I was the only one on this planet that had these problems. Like I said, I was told to grow up. I was told to be a man. You had a family to take care of. I was told all these terrible things from these people that do not understand what it's like to have anxiety. They don't know what it's like to have crippling, where you can't move, paralyzed anxiety. I mean, there's times when I can't even get out of bed because I feel like somebody's holding me down. I feel like I'm physically being pressed down and I can't get up, okay? That's how bad it is. So these people don't understand this. They didn't understand the situation. They just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And on top of that, I didn't have a job that was very understanding. They didn't care. They kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And I'm like, how am I supposed to go back to work when I can't even walk? I don't even want to leave the house. I don't want to be out there. But they didn't care. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching this infomercial, and it was hosted by this lady called Lucinda Bassett, if I remember her name correctly. And she's interviewing these other people that went through depression, anxiety, and they were saying, get this thing. If you get it, the only thing you could lose is your anxiety and depression, because it's a money back guarantee. Now, at the time, this thing was going for, I want to say, about $200-300, $200 or $300. I couldn't afford it. So what I did is I turned to YouTube, and on YouTube there's actually a couple of meditation from this set and a couple of episodes from this set. So what I did is I started using those. I actually downloaded the audio onto some CDs, and I downloaded the video onto some DVDs, and I started watching the videos that I could get, and I started listening to the audio that I could. And I got to tell you, the meditation CDs in here are really, really good. What she does is it's got that peaceful music playing in the background, but then she also puts you through this like exercise situation where you're laying in bed, and then she's like tighten up your toes and tighten up your legs and she goes through all your different body parts that you're supposed to try to tighten up, and then you just release everything. And then after that, you hear like raining, trickling water and raining, whatever, and she brings you back to a safe, happy place in your childhood. And that's the part that always gets me, because usually by that part of the CD, I'm calm. I'm at the point where I want to be. I feel safe and warm and happy and relaxed by that point. And it's all thanks to that. The one particular CD that's in here. So I didn't have $300 at the time, and I could not afford to try to do this session thing there. It was like one of these things they sent a little bit at a time, and then you got locked into some kind of plan or whatever, which they would start sending you additional videos and everything. There's no way. There was no way. But fast forward years later, I see this. So I'm like, I'm going through this again. I'm going through this. I feel like I'm going full circle. I'm back into full-blown anxiety mode. I mean, I just had a situation with my daughter, which is still going on, and I'm still struggling big time with that. And then job situation and money situations and house situations and problems with the wife and problems with the other kids. You know, it becomes a little bit too, especially when you're the type, if you're an anxiety person, you're the type of person that cares a lot. Okay, I got a lot of care and a lot of love. I mean, even my subscribers. Sometimes you guys subscribe me with some certain things, and I'll take on the load too. You know what I mean? So I take on that load, and nothing against you guys, but the issue with me is that sometimes I get so messed up. I'm looking for somebody to talk to. I will literally find myself at like, I think this is where I was going before, but then I totally lost track. At like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, Googling, I need to talk to somebody. I don't know why there is no now. Granted, if you type in Google, I need to talk to somebody, they're gonna give you the number to the suicide hotline. I am not suicidal. I don't feel suicidal. I don't have that in me. Okay, I love my family too much to ever do something like that. But that's not who I want to talk to, because that doesn't make any sense. I'm not suicidal, so I don't need to call a suicidal hotline. I need to talk to somebody. I need to talk to a friendly voice, somebody to talk me down off of this anxiety, somebody to just comfort me in my time of need. So I can't find it. It doesn't exist. I wish it did, but it doesn't exist. And if you know of a number that I can call, if I just need to call and talk to somebody, you know, just to talk to somebody, just please leave me the number down. And I'm saying don't leave me your home numbers. I don't want listen. I don't need to be bogging you people down with my problems, because I got them at random times. It's not good. But if there is a service that I can call, please hit me up with the number, because it happens. It happens to all of us. Anybody that has anxiety, there's sometimes when you just need to talk to somebody. I will find that sometimes I'll talk to somebody about what's going on. Like this video right here is therapeutic. It's therapeutic to me to be talking. I'm talking to a camera, but I feel like I'm talking to a person because I'm talking to you. And you're gonna eventually see this after I'm done editing it, which will probably take forever. But you're gonna see it, and you're gonna either feel what I feel, or understand what I go through. Okay, you're gonna be like, yes, I go through this too. I get depression. I get anxiety. I go through it too. I understand what you're talking about. Or you're gonna be like, I don't understand. Or you probably crack a joke. You know, it's always fun to crack a joke at the guy that's totally messed up. That's a good idea. But if you do, I can handle it. I can handle jokes. I've been ridiculed before. I got no problem with that. So here's what happened with this. Guy had this thing on eBay, and he wanted like $80 for it. Okay, and I was like, no, I ain't got it. I'm not working. I'm not working. But I felt like I needed this. I needed to have this in my collection. I need to have this in my life because it's been so terrible lately, and I can't afford to go see a shrink or a psychologist or a psychiatrist, or I can't afford to go do it. I've tried to reach out to numerous churches or whatever just to talk to people there, and unfortunately, churches nowadays they ain't big on listening either. It's a very strange thing, but they got their own little circles, and if you don't join the church or you're not part of their circle, then they kind of don't really want to deal with you. I mean, or they're not set up for it. There's certain churches that don't have like an on-hand psychiatrist or clinic. You know what I'm talking about? What a person that could deal with issues of anxiety and depression and stuff like that. So I'm like, $80, I can't do it. So I sent a message to the guy. I said, listen, I'm like, you want $80 for it? Or it says our best offer. I said, if I send you an offer, I'm going to insult you. I know I'm going to insult you because I just can't afford it. I got too many bills and too many things going on in my life right now. I can't afford it. But I will tell you that I am a man, a former preschool teacher. I just recently walked out of his job due to probably a lot of anxiety that I was having due to work situations, okay? And it had nothing to do with the children. It had to do with other situations. Children were great. The children made me feel good. It was other things that were going on that did not make me feel good, okay? So let me make that very clear, that me, as far as being a preschool teacher, I would still be doing a great job. And I when I go back to work, I'm looking really forward to getting my head busy with the kids, because that always made me feel good about myself, and it made me feel good helping the kids and the families and everything like that. So I think that's what I need, and I think the fact that I'm not with that right now, I'm disconnected from that outlet right now, is kind of a thing that's causing a little bit of the triggers also. But I will be going back, and I do a good job at it, because a person with anxiety has a lot of focus. Like, as far as like if it's one thing I'm doing, I'm going to do it 110%, because I'm always second guessing myself. So if I'm always second guessing myself, it's got to be perfect. It has to be perfect, or else it it doesn't sit well with me. So I make sure that as tedious as it is, it keeps me busy to get the project done. But then once the project's being done and the kids are enjoying it, it makes me feel fulfilled that the project was done right. So back to this, $80 he wants. I send him the message. The guy literally sent me a message back, and this is what he said. Send me the money for the shipping plus $10 for, I'm assuming it was for gas or whatever it was, and I will send it to you. I could not turn down that offer. I think it cost me literally $20 when we were all said and done with this thing. It is used, so I'm gonna have to check the condition when I open it up, but he said it guarantees every single thing's gonna play in here, and I shouldn't have any issue. And then doing research on this set, it says to make sure I do one CD at a time, focus on the CD. I guess there's a workbook in here, and it says if I try to do too much, I might overwhelm myself. So make sure I follow directions and make sure I go through it. But I never had the whole system. This is now the whole system, and hopefully this will help me with my issues that I have. And I will tell you that if you do have like a major anxiety attack, on YouTube, it's Lucinda Bassett. You type in Lucinda Bassett anxiety, and it's the meditation CD. I believe meditation video. I believe it has like a waterfall, and I advise you watching it lights off, laying down, hands by your side, because she's going to tell you to do certain things that if you're laying on your side, it doesn't work. If you're laying on your other side, you're laying on your stomach, it's not going to work. You're going to lay on your back. She tells you to tighten up your thing, and you actually do feel very released. But I'll tell you, the walkthrough of you letting you pick out the certain part of your childhood, a certain part of that brought you comfort in your life. Like, you got to find a comfort spot. Like me, I got this comfort spot at my grandmother's house, and that's what always brings me there. It always gives me a warm, relaxing feeling. So that's the spot I always go to whenever she brings this up. It's always is. It's always the same exact spot. It's always the same exact feeling. It's always the same exact wallpaper, same exact couch, same exact woman sitting in a chair crocheting. It's always the same thing. That's the only thing that brings me peace in my life. Only thing. So I always refer back to that spot. But usually by the time she's done walking me through this, she goes from there, and I have made it through where we go to she has you actually going into the woods, and you're sitting on a log in front of a waterfall and this, that, and the other thing, which if you use your imagination, you're laying there long enough, it helps you to stop focusing on other things besides the stuff that's going on in your life. If not, now you're focusing on picturing this river and this water and this log, and then after you just got done getting this nice happy feeling about your childhood and everything, and before you know it, you're out like a light. Before you know it, you're sleeping. So I gotta give props to this thing. That thing, out of the whole set, actually worked. I'm hoping the rest of it does. If not, then I got to figure out something else. I got to figure out either going. I don't like to really go to a counselor. I prefer to have like a one-on-one with somebody that I trust. I never felt good with counselors because I always feel like they're just there for the co-payment. After your hour's done, they're like, okay, there's your 25. Give me your $25, and you have a good day, and then that's the end of that. And it just never makes me feel like I'm important. So that's a little bit of a mess. But I will tell you that I did go to when I was done with my anxiety attack, I did end up at a church for a while, and I did find a lot of friends at that church. Unfortunately, that kind of went south eventually down the road, and we had a little bit of falling out because a guy that has anxiety is also a big people pleaser. Okay, that's excuse me, something that I never understood. Like, I used to have a pastor tell me all the time, don't be a people pleaser. But then he was like, I need you to do this weekend, or I need you to do this tomorrow, I need you to do this the day after that. And I'm like, yes. Oh. So I'm like, so you're telling me not to be a people pleaser, but yet you want me to do what you asked me to do. Wow, that's messed up. I think it's a dust from the box. So, yeah, it was kind of like strange advice, because you're telling me that pleasing people is going to mess me up, and you have my best interest, but then in the same breath you're saying, well, make sure that you're there so you could run the teen youth, or you could run the Christmas concert, you could run the teen concert group or whatever, teen group. I mean, I volunteer for these things. I put myself out there. The problem is I put myself out there too thick. I was too thin. I was weighing myself. You know what I'm saying? I just had too much going on. I was at the church from every day except for I think one day, and it was either practicing with kids or doing Sunday school. We would stay there for 2 services. I would do Sunday school, then we'd go to service, and it just became, and my Sunday school was not a regular Sunday school. Being the type of teacher that I am, I mean, if we were doing like a Noah's Ark, or we were doing whatever, Joshua, and the blowing the horns of the trumpets, or whatever it is. I had puppets for every single one of these things, and I had the kids participate, and we would actually be marching around a building and blowing a trumpet physically. You know what I mean? If I was going through the 10 Commandments, I come walking in with the 2 stone tablets underneath my arms like Moses. You know what I mean? I would take it to an extent that was way too much. You know what I mean? Me and the wife, we were like a team, and we would practice all week long for an hour on Sunday, and it was a big thing, and I put a lot of pressure on myself, so it started becoming too much, and then I started adding on all this other stuff, and then when I said I couldn't take it no anymore, and I needed a little bit of break, I got kind of slammed. So I was like, I gotta go. It's time for me to leave this place, and time to find another place. We went to another place, and there was too many people there, which caused the anxiety, you know. So there's too many people. I don't know where they are. They're not befriending me. I'm not befriending them. I'm kind of in the corner, just all curled up in a ball, just waiting for the service to get done. So that didn't work either. So it's always a struggle. Always a struggle. So thank you. I want to thank you for listening to me. Okay, yeah, this was a little bit much. I mean, it's a little bit much. I wasn't too excited today. I wasn't too over enthusiastic. But I'll tell you right now, that's because I'm literally, I believe this is day 3, 2 or 3. I don't even know, with no medication, and I feel messed up. Like I'm going through some kind of withdrawal situation here, and my wife was supposed to call my doctor today to try to see if they could push it up a little bit to try to get the medication going, because I don't know what the situation is, but I mean, my doctor told me how important it was to make sure that I'm taking this every day, and I can't quit cold turkey. If anything happens, she would start lowering my dosage like week for week until I got down to a dosage that wasn't going to kill me, you know what I mean? But by cutting myself right off, there's a good chance that I could end up dying. I can end up having a seizure. I can end up my body could shut down on me. This is no joke. What's going on right now? And I'm sure my anxiety friends, if you know what I'm talking about, you totally understand. You can't just stop taking the medication you're taking, because it messes with you even more than if you're on the medication. Like when I'm on my medication, I'm cool. I'm calm. I got these things going on. I still have anxiety attacks here and there, but it's a lot better. When I have nothing, it's just an all-day anxiety attack. Like you wouldn't know, but right now I'm battling right now in my head as I'm talking to you. But I have a last box here, and this is from Michelle Crutchfield, Coral Springs, Florida. All right, and let's see what this is. So actually, I have a pretty good idea what this is. I started collecting 1/6 scale figures. I've had questions about things that are behind me over there. Yes, that's a Bob Marley 1/6 scale figure up there. A Bob Marley fan, so why not buy a Bob Marley 1/6 scale figure? The Superman box in there. Inside there is a Christopher Reeve Superman. Somebody asked me about that one time. What's in the Superman box? That's a Hot Toys Christopher Reeve Superman with a diorama of the Fortress of Solitude. And comes with a little stand, and you can make them fly, and the whole situation there. I'm big into collecting these 1/6 scale things. But so yeah, that's what this is. I had a set of these in the basement, in the boxes, and I actually been always wanting to display them. So let me see if I can. Oh, this is gonna be a tough one. Oh yes, we are gonna have pieces falling on the floor. She bubble wrapped them all in a not individually, like in one big bubble wrap, and they got like little pieces, so as I'm opening, they're gonna fall one at a time. All right, so let's see if I can get this. Okay, I'll put the. All right, how should I start this thing? I'll start with this guy first. So these are the complete set of Sideshow Toys Young Frankenstein figures. 12-inch figures, or 1/6 scale figures. I have a set of these in my basement, still in the packages. But somebody on eBay, or Michelle, whatever was selling a set out of the package, and I'm like, I don't need the package. I got a package. I got a set of these already. So all I need is the dolls to display in my Detolf. Let me straighten these out a little bit. Well, this one. So if you are familiar with a Young Frankenstein, it is a movie by Mel Brooks, um, and stars Gene Wilder, Martin. Wow. Hold on a second. Marty Feldman, Gene Wilder, and Christopher Boyle. No, not Christopher Boyle. Is it Christopher? Wow, Boyle. Wow. Okay. I am. Good thing I put the to refer here. Why am I saying Christopher? I know it's Peter Boyle. Peter Boyle. I'm not even gonna look it up. It is Peter Boyle. And happens to be one of my favorite Mel Brooks movies besides Blazing Saddles and Spaceballs, and Mel Brooks got quite a few of them actually. If I had to name all of them, he did a movie called Life Stinks that I absolutely love. Blazing Saddles is another big one I really enjoy. Young Frankenstein probably being my favorite, and then Spaceballs will probably come in like a second. But here is and Gene Wilder being probably one of my favorite actors of all time. Being to the fact that I think he was probably one of the most humble, like peaceful people I ever met. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm a little jealous or a little envious of his peace. Now, this guy struggled with cancer. His wife died of cancer. He had a lot of issues going on in his life. I actually bought I don't read books, but I bought the audio book of his life, and I was kind of blown away with the amount of things that this man had to go through, and still was able to be what he wanted to be. You know what I mean? He was a workhorse, and he was a really good man. But here is get that as close as I possibly can. This is a Dr. Frankenstein. Is it also pronounced Frederick? No, it's Frederick. Yes, this is a Dr. Frankenstein figure, or Dr. Frankenstein figure of Gene Wilder from Young Frankenstein. I got him in the basement. I've already seen what he looks like. Let me try to get as close as possible without messing this up over here. I mean, it's a pretty good likeness. I think they're gonna look really good in the shelf there. The plan is to do like a backdrop of like the castle with lightning bolts behind them and everything. So that's a Dr. Frankenstein. These things come off. These glasses come off. Stethoscope comes off. I got over here. Yeah, something from the box. All right. So that's Frankenstein. And then we have... Oh, wrong one. I wanted to do him last. Do that one last. Let's see. We have... All right. Let me straighten him out so you can get the full look here. Because yeah, they during the shipping process, we've gone all over the place here. All right, this is Igor. Is it pronounced Igor? No, it's Igor. And this is the Marty Feldman Igor, which, who doesn't love Marty Feldman? He did, there's a couple of Marty Feldman movies that, In God We Trust is another, I'm a big fan of that movie that he did. Sherlock Holmes' younger, I think it's younger, dumber brother or whatever, which is another one. Look at that. I mean, I'm going to have to hunch him over a little bit when I display him, so he has that little hump thing going on there. You can see, you can actually bump this up over here, so you can see you can put the hump on one side and hump on it on the other side. Do you have that hump on the other side? What hump? That type situation. And that is a Marty Feldman. And then last but not least is... Yep, okay, here we go. Let's straighten them out here. A little bit. Let me see. Oh, these joints are backwards here. Sometimes that happens. We got to move the arms around. Yep, there we go. We have a Peter Boyle as the monster. Let me get that up there. Look at that. And I think that one looks just like Peter Boyle. They did a great job doing that one. Like I said, these are made from Sideshow, but this was old school Sideshow. It's like when Sideshow first began. So, I mean, they've improved a lot throughout the years, but these are going to look pretty cool in my detour. And then we got some bits and pieces in here, which it was nice enough to put in a Ziploc bag. That's a plus. We have Dr. Frankenstein's, does not open up, How I Did It by Victor Frankenstein, the book that his father wrote that they used to create the monster. Here is the brain and the little thing that the brain goes in. He was supposed to get Hans Dahlbrook, but he ended up getting Abby something or other. Abby Normal. So he put an abnormal brain in the monster. That was, we have Igor's horn that he uses to play the song that leads the monster to the castle. And we have some handcuffs for the monster. So how I'm going to display this, I have no idea. We're probably just going to be them all lined up together. But if you buy these individually on eBay, I believe they're going, they could go in boxes from between $130 up. Because I already have a set in the boxes, I was like, I ain't going to pay that. And all of a sudden, this set popped up, and I was able to do the pay in 4, and it was $60 for the set. So I got the complete set with the accessories for $60, and I can actually put them in the diorama and put them in the detour for the shelf, and it should look pretty cool after I'm done with it. So this was a nice little addition to my 1/6 scale collection. So, whew, as you can see, my friends, I am sweating. So with that said, my friends, yes, listen. I can't let you, I don't think you understand how much I appreciate you. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your subscriptions. Like I said, when I get a new subscriber, I feel like I achieved something. So it's very, very important to me. I know it's probably important to other YouTubers, but the confirmation that I'm doing something right and helping people is really, really important to me. And the only way I know that is by you hitting the subscribe button. If you hit a like button, I don't know if it's a subscriber or a non-subscriber. I like when you hit the like buttons. I like when my likes go up. But if it's, I don't know whether or not to subscribe or not. They don't tell you that information. But when I get a new subscriber, your picture comes up with your little icon or your what do you call it? Not an emoji. It's your that movie. What's the movie? They're coming out with a new one. Your avatar. Yes, your avatar. Yes, your avatar pops up, your little symbol thing there, and or your Facebook profile picture, whatever it might be that you're using for your subscription shows up, and then I kind of remember you. If you hit a like, then I appreciate that, but I don't know whether or not I get a new subscriber or not. So if you could please do me a favor, I would greatly appreciate it. And I do want to thank you for sitting here through this whole thing. I know that there's a couple of subscribers that were looking forward to this video. Okay, and if you are not one of those subscribers, I want to thank you for hanging in there, and hopefully you did enjoy the content. If you do struggle from anxiety, if you are going through the things that I go through on a daily basis, if you know how to help this thing, if you know how to help me out, I would greatly appreciate it. Leave comments below. Tell me what you refer to or how you make it go. I've tried everything. I've tried elastic bands on the wrist and flicking them. I've tried using those little cubes there with the like a fidget thing there to try to keep my mind busy. I tried everything. I have not figured out the key yet. The medication just helps, but I don't want to rely on medication. I don't want to rely on medication all my life to survive this thing. I want to be able to live a normal life where I can just get up in the morning and get up and go and then come home. I've literally been my wife for 27 years. 27 years. She's gonna kill me for this, but 27 years I think we've been together. 28 years, something like that. And we've never been on a vacation. I can't go on a vacation because I'm afraid to leave my house alone for a long period of time. Now, we've been on vacations. Let me make this clear. But we have never been on vacation together. Even on our honeymoon, we ended up having a daughter. We already had a daughter, and we ended up going to Sesame Place to go see Big Bird and Elmo and everything like that. So we never even had a honeymoon. And every other vacation we've ever been to has only been like 3 days tops, because I can't handle any more than 3 days because I start worrying about the house. I start worrying about... And the thing is, my house, I know my house is safe. I got security cameras. It's linked up to a security system where people are notified. I know my house is safe, but I just can't be away from the house for more than 3 days. It's just something stuck in my head. But with this new job I got coming up, I feel like there's going to be a ton of blessings and a ton of things that I could possibly do. There's going to be more money. There's going to be more time. There's going to be more things to be able to do things. And I think I'm going to be a lot happier there. But this one little thing in my life is holding me back from enjoying the rest of the years I got. Now, I'm not getting any younger. I want to start enjoying some things. I might finally have some money to start enjoying things. I might finally have some time to start enjoying things. I might finally be working for somebody that understands me as a person, you know what I mean, and cares enough to understand me as a person. Because I've had, you know, relationships with my bosses and people like that, and they worked pretty good for a while, but some things were out of their hands. Some things they just it went to a certain part, and then it was just, there's nothing else they could do, and it's not really their job to know what to do with me. You know what I mean? It's my job to figure it out on my own. But I do need friends. I do need people to talk to. I do need like an outlet every once in a while, because I'll tell you, stuff holds me back. I was invited to a cookout this weekend, and as much as I want to go to the cookout, as much as I want to go do these things, something happened at the last cookout that triggers something that's going to cause me to have an anxiety attack. So it doesn't make any sense for me to over medicate myself and go sit there and put on this big show and feel terrible inside, or come home and just crash. That's usually what happens. Usually I'll visually in front of everybody, I'm great, everything's awesome, I put on a good show, everybody's laughing, everybody's having a good time, and then I come home and I break down because I'm just a mess. I'm a broken person that's trying his best to straighten everything out. I think I can only do whatever knowledge I'm given, you know. So if you know what to do, it's a secret, something you figured out throughout your life, comment below. Help somebody out. You know what I mean? That's what I try to do with people. I try to help people. I try to help you out. I wouldn't be telling these stories to you if I didn't think I was going to be helping somebody. If it didn't make you look at yourself and go, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm one of them too. I got that issue too. I relate with you 100%. And this is what I do. This is what I do to make it better. Or I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we can figure it out, you know. Or yeah, there is a number you can call if you just want to talk to somebody. Because sometimes that's all we need to do. We just need to talk to somebody that's not gonna judge us, not gonna ridicule us, not gonna attack us, not gonna push us. This is the reason why we have anxiety, because of people like this. These people that judge and attack. And you know what I found in my life is there's a lot of people out there that love to give advice. They love to give you advice on things that are going on with you. Meanwhile, you look at them, and everybody and the rest of the world looks at them, and they're just as messed up, if not more. Some of these people have like really messed up home lives, or really messed up kids, or whatever. But yet they'll look at you in your life and they'll be like, "Oh, you're a mess. You're a mess too." I think we all have some certain things that go on in our lives that are just a mess. I think just some of us like to put on a blind eye, like to put on a mask and be like, "Oh, I hope it just all goes away." Well, with me, this is the reason why I get so much anxiety, because I know that I got situations. I'm very free with telling everybody that I have issues in my life, because we all have issues. We all have some kind of hang up. So we have some kind of strange addiction. We have some kind of strange thing going on in our life. There's all these strange things. And just some of us are easier dealing with them than others. Me, my coping skills with these things, it just weighs. It's like weight that I just can't lift. I just can't lift it. It becomes too heavy sometimes. And as much as I am a believer, you know, in God and faith and everything like that, it's difficult for me, because I just very much feel very alone, even when I'm surrounded by people. If that even makes sense. Even when I'm completely surrounded by a room full of people, I still feel very much alone. It's just a thing. With that said, my friends, please do me a favor. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. And I will see you. And thank you later.